It is April 4th, a little bit after 9 o'clock, and the boys in the sky have been busy this morning, uh, working at blotting out our blue sky. Um, Trails everywhere, basically. There's a little bit of blue, but they're working very hard on covering it all up. I did catch a FedEx plane this morning, being one of the perpetrators. I recommend the Plane Finder app. I have found that to be the best one so far. They're not perfect, but they do. You can isolate some of these guys sometimes based on the color of their plane, any turns that they make. I used to be a firm believer that these couldn't possibly be passenger planes, that they were drones, that they were, robots in the sky. I happen to believe that these are commercial planes, and I don't think the pilots have any idea what's going on. At least I hope they don't. I think the devices are turned on remotely, on and off, as we've all seen the on-off happen many times. And they're turned on dependent upon their location. If you look off in the distance there, I mean, today is just ridiculous. It'd be hard to see, but there are 3 planes headed this direction. You feel like you're under attack. It's a scary feeling. I look back at the sun again. Anybody who has a smartphone, I would recommend hopping on Instagram. There's a very good community of alert and aware people who are tracking this action day by day, so that we can see that they're spraying if they're spraying in the Midwest on Tuesday, we can bet that they'll be out to the East Coast by Wednesday or Thursday. And in California, it's no holds barred. They seem to spray more in California than anywhere, but that's where the jet stream enters the country, and I think they get less precipitation. We tend to get ours on the East Coast, days before, 24 to 48 hours before precipitation, which makes me think that there's much more of a bio element, and that the Morgellons argument is real, and that there is, they are slowly poisoning us for reasons that we don't know. I don't know if they're going to flip a switch one day and all the frequencies inside the little nanofibers in all of our bodies. I suggest you take the Morgellons test. There's a red wine test you can take that they actually warn you ahead of time that 99% of people have it, so don't be alarmed. It just seems that some people have an allergic reaction or a more negative reaction to it. I'm trying to get as tight as I can with the iPhone camera. I'm just too lazy to get the real camera out. Sorry. I'm not quite at that level yet. I need to make it easy and just show people what I see. And this is looking southwest, basically. Planes heading in this direction are generally flying at 227 degrees, somewhere varied in there. And when I don't have the camera, when I'm not videotaping, I do try to hop on Plane Finder and see what I can see. But here's another guy right above me. I can't picture a bunch of mystery drone planes leaving a mystery base, all painted to look like commercial planes and flying all over the country. It seems like a horrible waste of resources when you can just use who's already flying. Tell them they're doing something else and pay the airline industries the money that they need to not lose as much money as they do. It's a nice little incentive for them. You know, you tell them it's for solar radiation management, it's helping the planet, but don't tell anybody, please. Just take our check and don't ask questions and fire anybody that does. People who are new to the topic, I highly recommend watching Weather War Big Picture on YouTube by Weather Wars 101, Weather War 101. It's probably the most all-encompassing one I've seen out there. There are other ones that have facets of this program that are close to being right, but not completely accurate. Skywatcher has its flaws. Even the early what in the world are they spraying? I think they might admit at this point, if they haven't already, that they might have gotten a couple things wrong. But we're all learning. If you look at anything I posted 6 months ago, I know a lot more now than I did. And I could come back 6 months from now and have a different take on it. But based on my observations and my readings and everything, I think there's much more of a bio component. I think they spray more in California because they don't get as much rain, because the rain is what helps to bring it right down to our skin and to our soil and to our animals and to our into our water systems. Whereas California, they've got to keep spraying and just let it float down, and then it drifts with the jet stream across the Midwest. Wow, got a great trail. Great trail coming up there, that little squiggly one. There are also different kinds of trails. So these are 3 planes flying right over me pretty soon. But they have different kinds of trails. They have, there's one that we've dubbed kind of a chromosome trail. And there's a standard trail. There's a ribbon trail that Clifford Carnicom, another person you should look up if this is new to you. But I'm going to hop off and take a couple photos now and see if I can figure out who these guys are. Or who they're flying under, and we'll finish on that. Thank you for listening.